Hello and welcome back. Susan Zumo here, intuitive and originator of Soul Patterning Harmonics. This week's video is going to be a little long and it's going to be a little dense. We got into a conversation this morning about jumping timelines because I've been experiencing some interesting things over the past couple weeks and I wanted to know about it. And I thought this would be really good to share with you all because I have a feeling that a lot of you have been feeling and experiencing the same things that I have. So if you've been feeling a little weird, can't put your finger on why, everything feels different within you, or maybe off a little bit, that's what I've been going through. And when I asked, I had the feeling that I had jumped a timeline. So I asked my higher in the Galactics about it, and I said, well, did I jump a timeline? And they said, no, there is no jumping. I said, well, then I must have collapsed a timeline. And they said, no, you've integrated a timeline into your now self. They said that we're in the process of integrating new frequencies. And shifting frequencies or consciousness means changes in perception. We then integrate energetically and anchor physically, crystallizing our new reality or timeline within ourselves. So I knew that was going to take us down a very long and deep road, and here we go. We will get to all the juicy bits in terms of how you can do this consciously and what their steps are, all that good stuff. But first, some groundwork, so stay with me. They said we exist in many time places and are aware of them when we place our attention on them. We shift timelines or crystallize timelines, using my framework, within us all the time, whether we are aware of it or not. In the current fourth density expression, those consciousness frequencies incrementally closest to your current experience are moving closer and closer, so the gap between them becomes smaller and smaller, and you are able to shift more smoothly and readily. That was a mouthful, right? Visualize your time stream as a highway, a river, or a current of air, they said. There are roads that run parallel to yours, or currents above and below the one you are currently traveling on. As your frequency shifts and changes, you have the ability to move from one stream to another. They said this movement can be perceived as a positive or negative shift, depending upon how your consciousness expresses emotions and light through your being. Okay. All right. Here we go. The way I was shown was jumping timelines was that our thoughts, our emotions, our physical experiences, and our light body move closer to higher or lower frequency depending upon what we are expressing at the moment. So if we are expressing a positive experience and reaching for more positive experiences, more light, greater love, then that's what we're going to be moving towards, right? Those timelines will be coming in closer to us. If we allow ourselves to drop down into negative emotions or fears, then we will be drawing those timelines or frequency currents, streams, closer to us. So they said a desire to move forward or love more or bring more light into the body will lift new streams of consciousness energy to us. Taking action to release lower frequency emotions, thoughts, and experiences while expressing love and positive action allows us to move to a different timeline. As we maintain ourselves in this new frequency timeline and don't slip back into old patterns, we begin the integration process, whereby we experience this new frequency is our natural and normal state of being. The integration process is where we find ourselves feeling off or a little weird or out of sync with our environment, right? They said the next step is to anchor that frequency through action. Anchor it through action. The way we take action in our lives, the things that we do and create, anchor that frequency of consciousness into our being and our experience. When we crystallize or solidify our frequency consciousness, we then begin the process all over again. So when we say we are collapsing timelines, we're really integrating higher aspects of self into our now being. We are becoming whole and reclaiming higher aspects of self. This brings a more positive experience, greater peace, and an expansion into greater spiritual gifts for self and humanity. This, they said, is how we ascend and bring about the earth experience we wish to have for ourselves and those we love. I was shown that this can also be represented as the ladder to higher consciousness, and each rung on the ladder is a lifting of frequency and a new and different timeline. Of course, the same process takes place if we are mired in negativity and lower emotional expressions of fear, anger, etc. I think you can figure out what those crystallized timelines would look like. I think we're seeing them in people all around us and in world events too. I asked, well, should we just give up and ignore negative or violent events that we see in the world around us? Their answer was no. Thoughts and acts of prayer, visualization of light around those situations, and sending healing energy will provide an opportunity for those living through those experiences and events to get a boost of uplifting frequency. They may have a strong desire to experience a higher timeline, a more positive life, and are close enough to their next rung on the ladder to make a shift and move on from that place to something more appealing. So don't give up. We can be of benefit to others, even if they don't know us or we don't know them. Remember, when enough of humanity makes their personal shift, all of us can jump an octave in consciousness and frequency, and great changes will happen quickly and easily. This is ascension. So if you experience a feeling of being out of place or slightly off and just don't know why, you may be in the process of integrating your next leap of consciousness, your next timeline shift. Pat yourself on the back for a job well done. Give yourself some slack and honor your feelings and your body until you are ready to put this new frequency into action and lock it into your being. So, to go back and summarize a little bit, here are the steps. First, we must desire to change. All creation starts with desire. Without desire, no creation. Next, release lower frequency emotions, thoughts, beliefs, and patterns. And they said, deal with your stuff. Heal it. Release it. Let go of it, right? Move on. Next, maintain a spiritual practice of increasing love of self and others. Bring light into the body and connect with your higher soul creator source. However you want to do that is completely up to you. They didn't say Maintain a rigid spiritual practice every day, no matter what. They said a spiritual practice increases love of self and others, brings light into the body, and happens when you connect to your higher creator source in however way you do that. Be aware of self. Be self-aware and use your intuition to determine if you are shifting into a frequency timeline that is higher or lower. And be aware so you can make adjustments. Be conscious. Allow time for your non-physical and physical bodies to adjust. Give yourself time to integrate, to process, to allow this new frequency to become your everyday. And then lastly, express your higher consciousness frequency in your daily actions to anchor and crystallize this new timeline within you. I said, that sounds easy. And then I went, well, we always say simple but not easy. And they said, no, actually easy. At this point in our lives and in the world that we are seeing and experiencing, for us, this will be easy. It doesn't have to be a difficult and arduous path. It can be easy. And I hope that you will look at it in that way and allow it to unfold itself in your life and in your being in the easiest way possible. So that was the message, the discussion, or the lesson for this week. I hope you find it of benefit. I hope that you will share this with others who may also be experiencing what we're experiencing. And of course, if you would like, comment, share, that gets the message out to everybody, and I really appreciate it. So until next week, of course, I wish you many blessings on your timeline.